What's up guys, Diego here from ProNDC. Welcome to another ESO build video. So in today's video I want to show you my stamina Dragonknight PVE setup for the Clockwork City DLC. Before we start, this setup here is a support setup. So this is not max DPS. Usually when I run StamDK I have to run one of the support sets like Nightmother's Gaze, Thunderflame, or Tongue, stuff like that. And I will just show you the set that I currently run. I will record a video where I talk about all the stem sets that you need in trials and like how to combine them, what sets are good in dungeons and stuff like that, and of course also beginner setups. I record it I think like tomorrow if I have the time, but it will be up in the same week, and I will make sure to link it in the video description and then also of course in the comments. So yeah, just check the comment section if it's already uploaded. Anyway, we will start with stats. I will try to make this video a little bit shorter because about like the rotation, CP and all that is from Sanaxu. Check the video description if you want to see his build. The CP was worked out by him. The trade stuff with Nernhound Infuse was worked out by me. I will try to not explain it too much, but I will just like focus a little bit more on the options you have for rotations, because the rotation of Sanaxu is a little bit more complicated, but it will squeeze out a little bit more DPS because like it's like near perfect, and I will just try to explain this as well as possible. So I am an Imperial right now, so I get a little more HP, 12%, so I'm sitting at more than 18k, which is nice. Basically, because Dragonknight does a lot of heavy attacks, you do not need to be a red guard. You can just go with the Khajiit to get full DPS if you want to, but Imperial, like, this is actually my tank character. Imperial is also fine because, yeah, you get more HP and you do not need the resource bonus, and because you, yeah, because you have a lot of HP, you can go full medium and you get more weapon crit chance, which is also really good. Like usually on the red guard I run 6-1, so like one piece of heavy, so I have 2% less crit chance. Not that good, but yeah. So Khajiit, Imperial, red guard works, Orc also should work. We run the Boreum on the stone, max health, max stem, food. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the stats. Let's get into the setups, into sets, I'm sorry. So as a monster set, we run Velodreth. Velodreth, in my opinion, best monster set because weapon damage scales better with your light and heavy attacks. Better than max stam. You need 40 max stam, 40 stamina to compensate 1 weapon damage on your light and heavy attacks. Just 10.5 to compensate 1 weapon damage on your skills. So Velodreth, the one piece bonus scales better with our with stamina in general, but also the disease spores are really strong, especially in fights like Valarial, Rakat. There's so many fights where actually like more than just one spore can hit the enemy, and you will get a lot of damage from that. If you do not have Velodreth, if you want something that you can get a little bit easier, you can go with Selene or Mephalos. Selene's is the one with the bear. Actually have now I don't have it in good trade, so I never use it. It's the one that spawns the bear, and it's can proc every 4 seconds, which is nice. And Mephalos is this one. When you do a heavy attack, you spawn these webs that deal poison damage. So that's like your options you have for StamDK. Then we run a very simple set. This is Hunting's Rage. You can craft it. We wear 3 pieces on the body, all divines, all max stam, and then Nernhound dagger and an infused dagger with a weapon damage glyph, and then Nernhound here with poison damage glyph. Nernhound plus infused is the best trade combination, hands down. Whoever says something else just didn't test it or has no idea. Sorry, it's just like that. As I said, check out the next video. He put in the parses of his 51 mil Centurion tests on that big thing over there. He tested it on this Centurion and compare it to trades, and we also did the math. It's just like better, trust me. If you like, Hunting's Rage would actually not be the best option in this case. Briarheart is a little bit better, not because it heals. Like in total the weapon damage is the same, but if I remember correctly, the Briarheart set bonus can carry over to the back bar, which will result in a little bit more DPS. So if you have Briarheart daggers, Nirnhound uninfused, just use Briarheart. It's really good. But Hunting's Rage is easier to get. You can craft it, so yeah, it's up to you. We combine that with Morak Tong. So Morak Tong is really beneficial if you have a lot of staminas in the group, but most beneficial, of course, for the DKs, because we have more poison abilities. So Morak Tong gives us weapon damage, max stam weapon damage, and when we deal direct damage, which we do a lot, you cause the enemy to take 10% more damage from all poison damage abilities for 5 seconds. That is really, really great. So we keep that up almost 100% of the time. That's good. Yeah, we buff our whole group with it. And yeah, weapon damage stacking is also pretty nice. We get a ton of weapon damage from this setup. Then the setup is complete with the Maelstrom bow. I currently have it in Nirnhound. I think precise is a tiny bit better, but the difference is so minimal. It's like I think the difference isn't even 1%. So if you already have a Nirnhound Maelstrom bow, do not bother to retrade it, or do not like waste transmute crystals on the bow. The difference is really, really small. In some parses, Nirnhound might even in some fights, Nirnhound might even outparse precises. You maybe, like, it depends a little bit on crit luck, so difference is basically almost non-existent. We have the poison on the back bar. Damage health poisons, deals poison damage 2 times, and it's really, really strong. Yeah, like I said, Morak Tong, you can replace it with so many sets. I will make an extra video, but just to name a few, you can replace it with Vicious Ophidian. You can replace it with Sunderflame. You could also put like Briarheart here if you wanted to. It's up to you, but this is just the setup that I run. Now for skills, we have Rearming Trap here. We don't have any spammable skill, so we have Rearming Trap here for Minor Force. We have Rending Slashes here, single target dot, bleed damage, ignores resistances, which is pretty good. Noxious Breath, one of the poison damage abilities that benefits from a Morak Tong. Then we have Deadly Cloak here, reducing the AoE damage we take, and then we have Venomous Claw, also poison ability, really, really strong. Flawless Stonebreaker, we barely use it, only in trash fights. It increases our weapon damage. Then we have Standard of Might, increases damage that we do by 15%, and it decreases the damage we take by 15% for 17 seconds. Really strong. We run this in most fights. If we cannot run it, because the boss moves a lot, we use the Ballista, the bow ultimate. Then we have Molten Armaments, increasing our fully charged heavy attacks by 40%. Flames of Oblivion, some extra damage, magic ability, but still a lot of DPS. Razor caltrops, AoE ability, really strong. And we have Endless Hail here for our Maelstrom bow, and then we have Poison Injection. One thing that I keep forgetting, people ask it quite a lot, like, what do you do if you do not have a Maelstrom bow? Like, the next best option is, of course, a Master's bow. And if you do not have a Master's bow, just craft a Hunting's Rage bow, or get a Briarheart bow. If you run Briarheart, it's up to you. Just make sure it's like either Nirnhound precise, and you're good to go. So for champion points, currently, how do I distribute them? Like, green tree varies a little bit. Sometimes I have 37 here right now tuned to Sprinter, 43 into Mooncalf, 76 Tenacity for Arcanist, 40 Shadowboard, and 28 in Tumbling. Just try to find out what you actually need. Like, I would recommend to at least put 43 into Mooncalf and 75 into Tenacity, and then the rest is like up to you. Red Tree, 52 Ironclad, 21 Spell Shield, 49 Hardy, 49 L Defender, 40 Thick Skinned, and 19 to Quick Recovery. Same old, same old. So for the blue tree, we have 64 into Mighty, 61 to Precise Strike, 61 to Thaumaturge, and 13 to Piercing. Now, Piercing might vary a lot. It depends on what sets you run. If you have Night Mother's Gaze, Thunder Flame. Do you have a Crusher enchantment on your tank? tanks should run that if he does not tell your tank that he needs to run it. And then the question is he using an infused crush enchantment? Is he also using Alkosh? Like Alkosh is another 3k resistance debuff. If he uses Torque's Pact with an infused crusher enchantment, it's also 2.74k resistance debuff. And that's really important and really strong. And then what you have to do is just like add up the numbers, all the debuff numbers, and then debuffs like major fracture, major breach, minor fracture, minor breach from the Stamina Templars or from poisons or power of the light in general. Maybe your healers run it. Just add up the numbers and try to get as close as possible to 18.2k. Usually with 30 points in the piercing, we're relatively close. So it's like off by, I don't know, 100-300 penetration, and like that's not that big of an issue. So like this is the blue CP, and then we have 14 to physical weapon expert. So people might ask, like, why do you put weapons to physical weapon expert? It only buffs your light and heavy attacks. Why not put them into mastered arms? Well, physical weapon expert goes up way higher. So for 14 points, we increase the damage by 9%. If we put the 14 points here, we hit 6%. Like, it's not 6.5 because of the jump points. So like there's like rounding arrows in the champion points here. You only get 6% increase. And we do not have a lot of direct damage. We have direct damage from our poison injection, I think. Yeah, of course, light and heavy attacks. But we only use poison injection once per bar swap. So once every 2 bar swaps. So we do not benefit from putting mastered arms points here. So 14 into physical weapon expert. Oh, cancel. As I said, the CP setup is made by Synaxu. So as for the rotation, you have different options. What I see a lot of people do is, for example, like of course, like they buff up here. And what I see people do is they do every skill on the front bar with the heavy attack, and then they recast their skills here. This one only when it runs out, but like they recast all here, then do heavy attacks for all skills here, and they don't care if Endless Tail runs out and Poison Injection, caltrops runs out. It doesn't matter for them. You will have a few seconds downtime, but it works and you still get some good damage from it. So it would, like, this is the most simple way to this is the most simple way to play it. So we like we buff up and we just put down our stuff. It doesn't matter in which order. We just do heavy attacks and cast all skills that we have on the front bar with a heavy attack. And it just looks like this. And this is really simple, but you can see my hail is about to run out. And I still do a heavy attack. Now my hail will be down 1 more second than before. But this will give you basically the best sustain. And it's really simple. Like, this is one type of rotation that you can play. It's the most simple one, and you don't really need to pay attention. The other one that people use, which is basically the most popular one, is they of course try to keep Endless Hail up 100% of the time, so they look when it runs out, but they recast Flames of Oblivion every second bar swap. So every time you're on the back bar, they recast it, even though it runs 15 seconds and hail is like, actually it's 11 seconds. So like you cast it and then after 1 second it will start ticking. So they want to make sure hail, injection, caltrops is up, and they always cast Flames of Oblivion. That means on the front bar you have to do some light attacks. And then basically it looks like this. So recast everything on the back bar. And we recast Hail when it runs out. So now we have to do a light attack in the end into the deadly cloak. And we recast Flames of Oblivion, even though there was still a 3-second duration on it. And again with a light attack. Now we have to do 2 light attacks. I think maybe even 3. Yeah, 3. This will of course cost you more resources. Like the more abilities you cast on the back bar, the less heavy attacks you can actually do. Because there might be situations where we have to recast, like we have to cast standard, molten armaments, and Flames of Oblivion all the time. So we do not want that. Thing is, when we compare back bar to front bar, we have I have major savagery, so 10% more crit on the back bar, but we get that from our weapon power potions. So we have actually 10% less crit chance. It's only 41.2. We have actually less crit chance on the back bar. We have low weapon damage, and yeah. So we want to spend to maximize DPS. We want to spend as little time as possible on the back bar. So how does rotation work? Well, basically before the fight starts, we buff ourselves with Deadly Cloak, then we cast Flames of Oblivion, then Molten Armaments, and then we throw our Hail, caltrops, and then Poison Injection through Bar Swap. I'm not sure what hit this skeleton. This is like, wow, the range is incredible. So that's like how the fight starts. And then we do light attack into trap, and then we do heavy attacks on all the skills on the back bar. And then we bar swap, put down the standard of might, recast the Hail, recast the caltrops, then Flames of Oblivion, Poison Injection into bar swap. And then we recast everything with the heavy attack, and then cloak as the last skill with a light attack into bar swap. And then we just recast Hail, caltrops, Poison Injection, because all the other skills are still up. We still have, I think we still have our standard. We should still have Molten Armaments and Flames of Oblivion. And then we do just 4 attacks with heavy attacks: Rearming, Venomous, Rending, and Noxious. We leave out Deadly Cloak. So we have 3 seconds left on the Hail on the back bar. So we cast Flames of Oblivion, Molten Armaments, and then Endless Hail, Poison Injection, caltrops into bar swap. And then we just continue it. It's actually very simple once you have it down. So we do this. So light attack trap. Now heavy attack first, second, third, fourth. Standard, Hail, caltrops, Flames of Oblivion, Poison Injection, bar swap. Now we just do heavy attacks on 4 skills. Light attack, cloak into bar swap. Now just do 3 skills on the back bar, and we do heavy attacks on 4 of the skills. We don't recast the cloak. We recast Flames of Oblivion. Hail ran out. Molten Armors ran out. Okay, Flames of Oblivion ran out, so we recast it. We basically can recast Flames of Oblivion every time it runs out. And there's like bar swaps where you only have to recast 3 skills on the back bar, which is of course really nice. And that's how the rotation works. So basically what you have to track is your Flames of Oblivion and our Molten Armaments. Whenever the Molten Armaments is about to run out, we do not cast the cloak. We just do the 4 heavy attacks on the front bar, on the other skills, on Venomous Claw, Rearming Traps, Running Slashes, and Noxious Breath. And then we start by casting Flames of Oblivion, because it was down a few seconds, so we just reactivate it. We cast Molten Armaments, and then we cast Hail, Caltrops, Poison Injection. Because we have casted these skills when they ran out, we can spend more time on the front bar, because we already reapplied these two skills before that. On my last video, my Stemstock vid, I just put like a screen here where I just showed the rotation because it was really simple. This rotation is a little bit too complex. I will try to write it down in the comment section and pin it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. And if you do not want to miss any more ESO content, just yeah, hit the sub button. Would be really nice. I hope you tune in next time as well. So until then, bye bye.